we're live. Welcome everybody to 5 Minute Friday. Welcome. So good to see you. And with me today, I am very privileged to be hosting Carson and Zach, co-founders of a brand new company here in Manitoba called FasTab. I have had the pleasure of knowing Zach for a number of years. We met originally back in our Skip the Dishes days and had a lot of fun together at that time, and really have enjoyed seeing where Zach has gone on his journey from Skip. And then, of course, meeting you, Carson, along the way has been a real treat as well. Super excited about what the two of you are building together. And really, without further ado, maybe I'll just ask each of you to give a short introduction and background on yourself and tell us a little bit about FasTab.
Yeah, so I can start first here. My name is Carson. I'm one of the co-founders here at FasTab. So I guess jumping right into it, we came up with the idea a few years ago before COVID, just through like any other entrepreneur living life and experiencing life and finding hey, there's a need. I remember I was with a few buddies planning a stag, and we went out to a couple bars, and we only ended up going to 2 of the 5 bars we wanted to go to because we all had to pay individually, and it took forever for us to pay for our bill. So at the time, I thought there had to be a better way than this. And, with the emergence of mobile payments and digital technology, I thought there's a need for this. So, that's kind of where the idea sprouted from. And then from there, it kind of took off to where we partnered with the Manitoba Technology Accelerator. And we then built a beta and tested in a couple of restaurants and got some great feedback. And now we've launched in November. So that's a short snippet.
And I'm Zach. Again, great to be here with you, Gloria. As you said, we had some awesome times working together and just getting to know one another at Skip the Dishes. I think it's pretty cool to see how such a large company that came out of the prairies, I think helped create roots for so many people in the technology space, but then also just give them opportunities and roads to expand upon. That's definitely something I'm super grateful and appreciative of. And I think Carson, said it best. FasTab is really just trying to help people save time, earn more money, have better dining experiences, and really help restaurants offer really cool technology to guests and patrons that otherwise would be really unattainable for them to build and make themselves. So.
Absolutely. No, and you've listed some key ingredients there to a really great start for a business, and it sounds like you're well on your journey, which is really great to hear. I'll let you kind of decide whether both of you or one of you wants to answer this question, but I'm curious to know from the perspective of entrepreneurship, Carson and Zach, is entrepreneurship something you always kind of dreamed about doing? How did you sort of come to the conclusion that this was a journey you wanted to go down?
Sure. Yeah. I'll kick it off. I think, since I was young, I've always been interested in, business, or what maybe when you're younger, you call like hustling, and just trying to find new ways to make the extra few dollars so you can go down to 7-Eleven and buy random goodies with your friends. And I think as I started getting older and talking to different people, business and entrepreneurship seemed like such an exciting realm, but I think it was very glorified, to be honest. And people always just made entrepreneurship seem like, wow, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And you want to go in there, and you seem like everything that's good about it gets posted online, and everything that's bad about it gets kind of swept under the rug. I think we learned very quickly there's a lot of, I don't want to call it bad, but there's a lot of like learning opportunities along the way, and it's a lot of stress. And I think the one thing that I'm really thankful of is like having Carson through the journey is like made it 10 times better. I couldn't imagine being like a solo founder with anything. I think that is, commendable to so many people who are able to do it. It's really hard to kind of take it all on your shoulders and not have someone to feed back and forth off with different ideas and issues that you're trying to work through. But I do think that it's definitely the place that we both want to be. Maybe if I'm speaking for us right now with that, is being able to start something and see kind of your ideas formulate in your head to being able to write and draw them down, and then actually start building them so that eventually you can see someone in a restaurant just using your product and being happy about it. That's probably the greatest feeling I've ever seen and felt.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, just to piggyback on that, again, exactly like Zach said, it's something that me personally, I was born with just from a young age, it being a part of my family. All my family members have started their own businesses and things like that. I've always looked at life as, this is interesting. This could be done better if it was done this way or things like that. And, just kind of always looking at whatever the case may be. I'm going for a walk and the way that a light post is bait. I don't know. I'm just always thinking of ways that things could be improved. But yeah, no, I think that's exactly, and that's how FasTab was solved, just through those real life problems that everyone goes through day to day. And now we're here.
I totally get that. I grew up with a dad who was a serial entrepreneur, and now we joke, or he jokes with me, that any success I have is from learning off the back of his mistakes. So I can identify growing up in that lifestyle. Just curious, through this journey, and you talked about some of the discoveries that you've made along the way, and you hit on a really key one there, where sometimes entrepreneurship can be a bit glorified, and the realities and the roller coaster of building your own company is not always something that's talked about as much. As you've gone through this journey, one lesson that you've learned that sticks out maybe a little bit more than the rest that you'd like to share?
I think it's going to be something that's maybe a bit cliche that people talk about all the time, but it's very true. Whether it's building your own business or just doing anything for the first time, is really be aggressive and not be afraid to fail. I think being okay with failure is super important, but then being okay with failure and wanting to do better immediately after is how you're going to continue to, get better.
Not letting that failure kill you. Yeah,
exactly. I know a lot of entrepreneurs are super competitive. You come from a sports background or from something else previously, and you don't like to fail. We all hate failing. I think the worst thing in the world is to feel failure. But I think that the one thing that really changed our perspective was realizing that when we failed, or when we heard, a no from someone, that was maybe the last no that we were going to hear before we heard a yes, or that was the last thing that we were going to lose at before we actually succeeded and won with something. And always having that in the back of your mind with the, optimistic glass half full perspective, I think has helped lots, but it took a bit to get there.
Yeah, no, totally not the first time I've heard that from founders, and have certainly experienced that as well. To kind of wrap things up here, just curious, where are you at within the life cycle of your business? Is it now to the point where people can start using your platform? Where are you at? Where can people find you? How do they get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Carson mentioned earlier, we launched in November. So we are actually currently live, and we're really trying to grow and ramp up as quickly as possible right now within Winnipeg, but we'll be slowly expanding over the Western Canadian provinces in the coming months. Right now, what we're really looking for is to actually find some people who just live, breathe, and die sales. We're trying to find some really great sales experts to join us on our mission to, expand FasTab across Canada, and really just give restaurants the ability to, again, offer this amazing technology to their guests, help the servers have better experiences, and overall make a more efficient and exciting environment for people who are eating within their space.
Yeah, and so this is an app that people can download?
It's a web app. So the way that we do it is we don't force anyone to download an app on purpose, because we believe that there's a lot of friction with app downloads. And so all you have to do is actually scan the QR code right when you're in a restaurant. That QR code will bring you right to a web platform, which will allow you to access your live tab and be able to pay for your bill in real time.
Got it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Carson and Zach. All the best of luck with FasTab. I have absolutely no doubt that you guys are going to be killing it going forward. And thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you to everyone who took a moment to watch. Feel free to reach out to Carson and Zach. Check out FasTab. We want to do our best to come behind this great new company and help them grow. So with that, I'm going to sign off, say goodbye. And Carson and Zach, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Gloria. Really
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.